And we will level up as well. Let me just save just in case I mess up, because I am known to do that from time to time. And this, ladies and gentlemen and beautiful people, is our level 12 level up. Our maximum level in this game. And if Larian ever makes a new Baldur's Gate, hopefully we'll be able to import these characters and continue our choices and stuff. And level up all the way to perhaps level 20 or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. But I'm also very fond of the fact that the game does keep up the power creep, or power creep may not be the term here because it does have a negative connotation, but the power balance is definitely based on the items you get as well. It takes a while for us to get interesting items in Act 1 and even Act 2. And so the power really does come from us leveling up. But then it doesn't anymore. Then it's not as much like that. So I like that. That said, I am saying this without actually looking at level 12s. So let's see. We have another level 3 spell slot. We can replace spells, which I may do but probably shall not. And we have also a new feat. Actually, should I? Because, you know, objectively speaking, things like Conjure Barrage may be better. Right? I don't know. I always thought that for Rangers, it's better to have utility. In some games, curing, healing items are, you know, at a premium, so curing spells is just really good. But this is not really that kind of game. That's because it's the best game ever. Because honestly, I think it's a bad sign when a game requires you to have a lot of healing. Not necessarily a bad sign, but it's just a sign that it's very action-based. And for all the combat this game has, it's not action-based. It's strategy-based, and that's really cool. That said, I do think that for a ranger, just having utility spells is better. Like this lightning arrow, I can't hit it because it's intelligence-based or something. It just doesn't. I can't land it. It's like always 30%. So there's no reason. Actually, you know, maybe I should replace it for, you know, daylight or protection from energy. This is the sort of stuff that I mean. And actually, bark skin. Oh, it's a concentration spell. Yeah, I don't need that, but yeah. So I am going to go with protection from energy and switch that. And now for feats. We're going to go with ability improvement because we want our dexterity up. This is going to bring our hit chance even higher. Well, not higher because it's already 95%. But it is going to bring it up by 5 percentile points as well as +1 damage to each shot. Except for our offhand. So it isn't tremendous. So, yeah. That's that for my level up. As for Jaheira, hello Jaheira. We have a little bit more health, a new feat, and that's it. She doesn't get new spells. She doesn't get a new spell slot, I think, but we're not going to worry about it from here. For her new feat, she does not need ability improvement because of, well, she's already maximum wisdom. We could give her a little bit of constitution, which would be interesting. An elemental adept may be a good thing for her. I'm gonna go with fire. And also you can't roll very low. Yeah. I'm gonna go with that. We may want to give her some more fire spells from that, but I think that's important. I think that's really important. As for Kylak, she has all of the health. She has an additional rage charge and a new feat. Now, yeah, we know what her new feat is, because it is strength. We want her to have 20 strength. And although the gloves that we're about to get may make that irrelevant. But I'm also not sure if I'm not going to be turned into a turnip the moment I say no to Helsik, because we may have just signed a deal with the devil there when we accepted things. I don't know how the rules go. I assume we haven't, but I don't know for sure either. So that's that. Oh, Gale. I forgot about you, Gale. I'm sorry. Yeah, Gale gets 2 spells to learn. 2 spells. Okay. Yeah. And a new feat, which is pretty awesome, although he doesn't need ability improvement. We could give him an elemental thing as well. We're going to get Arcane Gate and Circle of Death. They're high-level spells that I don't know if we're going to get, but I think everything else doesn't really matter for me. And we're going to prepare spells later. We don't need to worry about that right now. So what I'm thinking for him is Elemental Adept for Fire. Because fire is just easy to use, and I like those spells. And he has the He has the cantrip, and it works for his cantrip as well. Spell Sniper would be interesting. This didn't used to apply to cantrips. Oh, you also get a new cantrip when you do this. Yeah, Spell Sniper didn't used to apply to cantrip. But honestly, it doesn't actually make their range any longer, which is more useful for him as a protective measure than anything else. So I will... Yeah. So I'll get Elemental Adept here, because everything else I don't think I need. Although there's that Dexterity up there that I could get. Did I plan on getting him extra Dexterity later? I may have said that. Given him like Performer or something like that. Or whatever. Resilience. You know what? I am going to give him that. That way at least he doesn't... It's a Dexterity save. Like, there's a lot of spells that are Dexterity saves. So, that helps. Getting advantage on that, that's good. And he doesn't have anymore. Doesn't have it anyway. Because that would be Intelligence for him. Yeah, you can see the proficiency. And what else? Wisdom? Yep, Wisdom as well. Alright. His boots do not... Oh, I shouldn't click on that button. His boots do not gel with his equipment. Anyway, let's look at the prepared spells. Let me just make sure.
Oh, hi.
How high? Yeah. We have Sunbeam. Yeah, so she just equipped that automatically. But we have that. Because for every level, you get a new one, I think. So that one, I mean, it's not bad. Wall of Thorns. Wall of Thorns is really powerful. Sunbeam, you can move that, right? Yeah. It is a really powerful spell. Make no mistake. But, yeah. Where'd you get that from? Always prepared. That's where you got that from. Anyway, that's her. And for Gale, apparently, you can't click to change things. Yeah, he gains another slot as well, which is good because then we can cast things like Globe of Invulnerability or many other things. What do I want? Wall of Ice? Do I want Wall of Ice? I think I want... Who doesn't, right? But ultimately, it's just down to... It's just down to having that ready whenever we need it. So, orders for Archivists. Without delay, move some of the contracts and treasures to the main cache. We are excited about soon acquiring the Crown of Karsus and want certain things on display, while the rest may be safely stored in the Sacred Vault. What we want in the archive are the Amulet of Greater Health and the Gauntlets of Ill Giant Strength, with a place is reserved for the Crown. That's a typo. Artifacts in the vault should be the Staff of Spell Power and backup gold cache from Raphael. We got the vault already. We have Nautiloid Adventurers. Attached to this letter is a map with a detailed list of locations, all of which are familiar, from Corilla. Raphael, as requested, I've kept a close eye on the infected adventurers who fell from the Nautiloid and survived impressive. They spent a while stumbling around like lost babes, easily distracted ones at that, but finally made it to Moonrise Towers. You should have seen the mess they made there. Pure, delicious chaos. They killed Ketheric. It was a hell of a show. I'm delighted I got a front row seat. And now they're in Worms Crossing. If the last few days are anything to go by, I'm expecting more blood, death, and chaos, which means they'll be running into you any day now. If anything changes, I'll keep you posted. And we have a glob. What is this glob?
Hello, world.
Fucking hell, Gilladel, why do you do this? Why do they make... why do they make puns? Well, it's not even a pun, that. It's just a... It's a programmer joke. But, well, at least, yes, I suppose that's an improvement over what Gilladel has said to certain things.
I cleanse the books. I comb each and every line for falsehoods and purge them pure.
That's interesting. I wonder if that is actually true or not. There's a Wall of the Faithless here. Oh! Did we read this? Is this about the wall that I was talking about? At the core of the Fugue Plains barren ash-gray wasteland stands the City of Judgment. Yeah, we did read that. And we can't... Yeah, we're gonna We're gonna have to open some of these things, aren't we? An extensive list of the names, the residents here. Oh, crap. Amulet of Greater Health. Set the wearer's constitution score to 23. All right. The enchantment has no effect if their constitution score is higher without it. Advantage on constitution saving throw checks as well. Yeah, this is sort of items that if you have a min-maxed character, or if you want to min-max, you can just respec them, which I think is not correct.
Always read the fine print.
Always read the fine print. Not the technicalities, but the fine print. The House of Wonders here. The High House of Wonders, Temple of Gond, the Gearsmith, and the Wonderbringer. The house is at the same time an elaborate collection of workshops, laboratories, and magical manufactories. For what better way to worship the Lord of all Smiths than by making mechanisms in his name? Here in the Upper City, all manner of enchanted clockwork devices are forged and crafted, powered by spells, by steam, by conjured micromodrons. Are those the television machines? I think that's maybe. Even some say by hellfire. However, these Gondians creations are not wonders for the sake of wonder, but practical contrivances built to enhance the lives of Faerun's mortals and help them work beyond the limits of their physical bodies. Take, for example, which is funny because that's not actually what they're for. It's help them produce things beyond the limits of their physical bodies, because the people who own the machines are not the workers themselves. It's the people who pay the workers. Take, for example, this thing goes on. The mighty cranes that line Baldur's Gate's docks, loading and unloading ship cargo with speed and strength far beyond the capacity of ordinary stevedores. These cranes originate in the workshops of the High House of Wonders, and are Gond's gift to the trade of prosperity of the city. Yeah, I do have a bone to pick with this sort of narrative, because this happens every once in a while, especially in fantasy. I don't remember. I don't say fantasy. I don't mean like high fantasy. It could be in sci-fi as well. But what I mean, just sort of made up worlds, because that's where this sort of passes for. It's not as evidently wrong that cranes are built to surpass people's natural limitations. I remember in Deus Ex Human Revolution, there was a big plot point throughout or a theme, I suppose, plot theme throughout the game about how augmentations are a way for people to surpass their natural limitations, specifically in regards to strength, I think is the example that the game uses over and over again. And we're seeing the same example being used here as well. But the problem with that is for one, it is... Well, and it is more pressing, that the problem that I raised here of the the fact that the cranes are not owned by the stevedores, they're owned by the people who employ the stevedores. But that problem is actually more pressing in Deus Ex, because it's a cyberpunk kind of setting, which is itself a criticism of capitalism and late stage capitalism as a setting. Although Deus Ex isn't that, because the creators don't understand. Well, Deus Ex Human Revolution specifically isn't that, because the creators don't understand the setting. But either way, I digress. But here it's really obvious, because they're using things that are inherently linked to people lifting things. But when you think about roads, for example, or carts, you don't think of them as enhancements to people's natural abilities, because, technology making people capable of doing other things. No, you don't think about it like that, because that's not what technology is for in general, although it could be, but it isn't in this setting, and it isn't in real life, and it isn't in Deus Ex either. It's just so that people can be more productive to the people who employ them. But either way, House of Wonders is that. We have that we'll definitely have to steal. We also have this impervious sphere, but that's not what I care for.
I see the Orphic hammer has caught your eye.
It really is a magnificent exhibit. Wholly unique.
There it is. Yeah, we can't mess with that. So I don't think we can even mess with the hammer or interact with the hammer.
The Orphic hammer.
And that's that. 3 quest updates.
When the Orphic hammer strikes like thunder, even astral chains are torn asunder.
All right. We encountered Raphael's House of Hope. Yes, we did. And retrieved the Orphic hammer. Oh, it's all Personal quest. I didn't realize we had that. Haven't embraced my potential. Probably never will, now that we're here. Actually, we haven't committed the sin yet. But we may. Are you the one that I talked to?
No interruptions, please.
I think so. Or was it you?
I'll make them perfect. Pages crisp with lines and letters. I'll make them beautiful for him. I promise. I promise.
I don't remember. They're all skellies. It's tricky. The power of the crown. And display cases. All 100 chapters of this dense book describe the coronation of Raphael as Archdevil Supreme of the Nine Hells, but the circumstances vary in each case. Oh, wait. I didn't... What do you mean each case? I mean, I know what you mean each case, but that's not what you described. All 100 pages of this dense book describe the coronation of Raphael. It makes it sound like it is 100 pages to describe the coronation, which has not happened but will. But apparently it's 100 different types of coronations that is described once per each page. I think that's the implication here, because the circumstances vary in each case. Some versions are written as if historical fact, others are imagined futures, but all end with Raphael wearing the crown of Karsus. One in particular catches your attention. In the end, it reads, it was the prism bearers who came to him seeking salvation, and he laid out a corpse... No, he didn't a corpse. A course for their survival. They would be free of the parasite. The Sword Coast would be cleansed of illithids. And Raphael, wait a minute. Now I'm just now realizing. I'm now realizing a thing. Anyway, let me continue so I don't lose you, dear viewer. And Raphael would receive the crown for his part in the victory. From the moment he met them, it was inevitable. The realms would weep to see his glory. Yeah, that's not... You're not really selling it there, mate. Raphael does hold the power for us to get rid of the illithid infestation. Because it's the Orphic Hammer. What did he want at the beginning? What was his thing? What did he want? Did he just want my soul? At the beginning? He may have. But he knows about the Crown of Karsus. He just wouldn't have told me that. Or, I don't remember. Maybe he wanted us to destroy the Absolute or something. But yeah, he is the only person from the beginning of the game that actually could do what he said he would do. This is a transcript of a conversation between Raphael and Corilla's sister, Hope. Did your mother sing you nursery rhymes? What? Little Miss Teffel sat on her kettle, steam blowing between her lips. Along came her oven, in need of some leaven, and soon she had scalded hips. Ha, that's funny. And yet you do not laugh. Come, Hope, don't look so aggrieved. This little realm around us, this house, you have mastery of it. And you of me. Sing me a song, Hope. I'm speaking to you. Now don't go silent. I'd hate to have to slit a child up the navel and rinse you in their insides. You're some pervert. Then sing me a song, I say. Nursery sweet, but don't demean. I'll know it if you do. Hope, after some moments, does. I remember our mother used to sing it to us, a gentle melody laden deliciously like plump young arms laden with autumn-ripe apples. When the song concludes, Raphael sighs and looks at my sister. You're something, my dear. Really rather something. I would have you master your own fate. Let me give you free rein to do so. Let's abandon this whole ugly imprisonment. Serve me willingly. Things would be as merry and jubilant as that song you've just given me. Sweet Raphael? Yes, Hope. Eat shit. But stuff your maggoty tongue in some other woman's ear. And Raphael looks up on her with such longing and hate I think he might actually kill her. Oh, that was in error, my dear. In grave error. I shall see you soon. I don't know what that longing is there. There's something going on. I think he may want to get this house to be a more welcoming place, and he wants Hope to help. Or maybe he's in love with her or something. He did name his house after her.
Do not think of what you have lost. Do not dwell on your debts. Set your mind on higher things. Set your mind on me. I am the architect of destiny. I am the purveyor of hope. I am the future.
They really did achieve a beautiful...
Raphael knows everything you think.
No. They really did achieve a beautiful combination of a dreadful place with a pragmatically nice proposition. I still think that we may actually be... The point of the game may be that gods and devils are basically just as horrific. Because, well, I don't actually know how the place of the gods is, but I'm sure you could portray them to be bad as well. You know, maybe you lose free will or things like that. It is no exaggeration to say that Corlon Lorethian is the primary figure in the pantheon of elves. And oh yeah, we read that. That may be about these things over here. The Tourmaline Depths by Lady Incognita. It was Master Vampire Donella Sar who reopened the vast blue-green halls beneath Baldur's Gate and brought them under our control. But what is the history of this subterranean expanse, and how far does it go? Not even Donella, the architect, knew for certain, but in her notebooks, she speculated that the depths were originally dwarven built by exiles from Barinden, though she admitted she was no scholar of dwarven history. Quote, though deeply delved, the halls were certainly more of an outpost than a city, unquote, Donella wrote. Quote, though if it was established as a facility over a mine, what were the dwarves mining here, unquote. A larger question in this writer's mind is how did those abandoned depths go undiscovered for so long under a great city like Baldur's Gate? Were they deliberately hidden by some kind of persistent glamour that finally wore off? We may never know. Actually, I don't remember how you get down there in Baldur's Gate 1. It's just some tunnels and some house, if I remember correctly. Potentially the Iron Throne house, although I don't think it is. But yeah, the Tourmaline Depths, that is a reference to the... greater invisibility. You have that already. It's a reference to the Undercity, which we are apparently going to visit, because that was referenced. The power of the crown, and an armillary sphere.
Can hardly feel the spinning.
And she said that already. I think she always said that. She says that about the armillary sphere. And the fall of Netheril. We definitely read that already. Or at least about that. Yeah. I think we're about to fight this. Oh, wait, maybe not. What is that? Avernus Vista. Oh, yeah, it's an outside thing.
Seems simple enough.
It's interesting that the door itself is named that.
Don't like this dream anymore.
Tiger Mist. I'll take that. Splotched Palette. Hello. Oh. Look at this. What is that? That icon, I don't think that was the icon. I don't think the icon is meant to be shown. They didn't expect us to take the palette. Diseases of the blood. This journal is handwritten by vampires who know only as Lady Incognita, in which she describes two different blood diseases that, if contracted by ingestion of infected blood, might inconvenience a vampire with a brief illness. The bulk of the text is descriptions of symptoms and diagnoses of red thrombosis and Thandel's paroxysm. Lady Incognita notes that with a vampire's superior senses, it's possible to train oneself to recognize infected prey by scent before biting them. Red thrombosis by a piquant, gingery odor, and the... I don't think that's pronounced piquant, I think it's piquant. Anyway, and the paroxysm by a sharp astringency. Now, I know what piquant means, it just means, like, spicy. But astringency... I don't. You know, I cheat. Fancy words. If they exist in Portuguese, I know what they mean. But if they don't, then I don't.
Touch me. Love me.
There's a song about that, I think. What is this?
Vengeance, the most delectable of poisons.
Why is it a poison? It can be vengeful about a lot of things. A tour of tempests. You know, it doesn't have to be a poison. And look, when you were whipped with the wild winds, or stricken until stick-like and burning from the gods' lashing lightning tongue, are you not suffused with the power of tempest? Aye, how Queen Umberlee and Lord Talus fight and fray over its dominion. But even they on high, capital T, capital O, capital H, know in truth tempest can never be tamed, only channeled by the favored few. Reach up thy hands to the sky, outstretched, awaiting breaths of gods to blast the oblivious. Supplicate and ask to be drowned, to be blown asunder, to be destroyed, or perhaps, to be granted such might to speak the words of Talus with thine own sweet hand. I don't know who Talus is, because I didn't read about that god. And a telescope. I spy with my little eye.
Through the telescope, a sinister vista sprawls before you. Boiling rivers and sheer crags. A sight of the hells that you'll never forget.
It is very moon-like, although the mountains do.
Always read the fine print.
The mountains do have very unnatural dimensions, or proportions, I should say. Are you following me, Archivist? Really?
Yes.
I will leave you here. Yeah, I think. Well, we're gonna fight. I think I'm going to just save there and tell him.
Yes.
That I am coming for the hammer.
Have you indeed?
That's splendid. The Orphic hammer is one of Master Raphael's most prized possessions. You can't have it. You can't even touch it. And I would suggest you don't think about it.
How about I break bits of you until you change your mind?
There are a few bits of me that haven't been broken already. You're more than welcome to do your very worst. I'll have the guards stop you if it starts to tickle.
How did Karlach disapprove of that? F8. So, yeah, basically,
Watching me.
I need to touch this.